So in phase 4 here, one of our themes was duplicating our model and scaling. We had successfully built one business, one dating advice business, and we had kind of goofed around with and launched another one, and we'd started with dating advice for men, then we went into dating advice for women, and we learned a lot of lessons. And one of the key lessons that I learned, that we've talked a little bit about, but it is that as your business gets bigger, your opportunities multiply. But it's not just that they multiply, they also become far more complex, because you start dealing with one type of opportunity, oh, this company wants to work with us. And then another opportunity, oh, this talent came to us and they want to work with us. And then a different type of opportunity. Now all of these different people that we're thinking about hiring, now they all want to work with us because we're having more success. And then this other company comes out of the blue and says, hey, do you want to do maybe some of this big partnership or teach us some of the things you know? And then all of a sudden people start saying, wow, your technology is very cool. Would you like to package that up and license it to us? So the opportunities don't only multiply, but they also become more complex because they're on many different types of levels. And it's important to build a good filtering system. And one of the things that I recommend that you try is something that we use internally, which is to start thinking in terms of the common denominators of value in any opportunity. The common denominators of value in any opportunity. Raise your hand if you just have too many different opportunities around right now and you just don't know how to sort them all and figure them all out. Right, okay. So here's a simple method. It's deceptively simple. It's almost stupidly simple. What you have to start with is, what is the potential payoff? Just got to estimate, what could the payoff be? And if you say, well, what do you mean by the payoff? I say, a meaningful payoff in a meaningful amount of time to you, and then write down what it is. If we do a partnership with this company, I think that the likely payoff is that we'll make $1 million in profit in 3 years. And by the way, if it does happen, it'll probably be a curve where it'll take a long time to take off and then it'll go up. It's just the nature of things. They take longer to get started than you think. The payoff's usually a little bit later than you think. So write down what the payoff would be. Next, work backwards and say, what is the time, effort, energy, money, and opportunity cost? Time, effort, energy, money, opportunity cost. Let's say that I was looking at 3 opportunities. So up here I'd go time, effort, energy, money, and opportunity. And then I would write down opportunity number 1. Opportunity number 2. And then opportunity number 3. I'd go and I'd fill all of these in. And then out here, I didn't draw this quite correctly. I'm just kind of writing down a conceptual structure that I use in a lot of different ways. But out here, I'd try to multiply these together or add them or come up with some kind of value system, because different types of opportunities, these things are all different. You know, these things change out. If you're hiring somebody, there's going to be things like, you know, one of these might be how long it'll take to get them up to speed, how much they'll distract other people. Whatever the factors are, rate them, add them all up, and then calculate them against each other. Create a weighting system so you can value your opportunities against each other. Does this make sense? It's a method of thinking where you take each opportunity, you figure out what it'll be worth, and then you say how much time, effort, energy, money, and opportunity cost is involved, and then prioritize them. And start there. This isn't something so that at the end you say, oh, okay, this is number one, that's the thing I should do blindly. It's just something to organize your thinking. And what I've found is when I've used systems like this and thinking like this, and now we do this in all of the areas of our business, we have a technology priority queue where all of our technology projects, and it's much more complex than this. There are things like, does the piece of technology have dependencies on other things, so other things have to be finished before it can be created. We have one for our virtual bench for our hiring, where we list all the different people and the different processes that they've gone through and how valuable they are against each other. But once you do this, typically, the best opportunities rise up to the top. And instead of dealing with the 70 opportunities that you have, now you're just focused on the top 3 or 5. And of course, you can change and you can make the decision and you can say, you know what, let's move this number 3 up to number 1 because that one really is more important. It just helps you clarify your thinking. Remember, A1, A2, and A3 are really all that are going to get done. So you need to be able to see those and focus on them. And this method of thinking, which I haven't totally developed yet, is a great way to do that, a great quick way to kind of do that. Got to manage all those opportunities. Got to deal with them and not get overwhelmed by them.